I gotta say slow-moving zombie. I know there's a lot of arguments for the fast-moving zombies, and, I'm not saying that, they're not cool in their own way, but I gotta say I love the slow-moving zombie. I believe if there were to be any type of fast-moving zombies, it would have to be within the first, few hours of their death. Because when you're dead or undead or whatever you want to view them as, the tendons and the muscles, they start deteriorating. And I love the slow-moving zombie because that just makes the most sense to me, as far as zombies goes.
Is my favorite type of zombie. My favorite type of zombie is a dead zombie. One that's not trying to eat me, attack me. That's my favorite kind of zombie. No, I hear all the discussion, of whether you're going with the George Romero Night of the Living Dead, Shamblers, or you have World War Z with all these sprinting, running, leaping zombies, and some people say those aren't really zombies, and all this discussion back and forth. My favorite zombie is the traditional Haitian voodoo zombie, as you see in the old classic White Zombie, and that type of thing is my favorite type of zombie. And it seems that nowadays the only type of zombie people think about is the one that George Romero started. So you've got your mysterious radiation from outer space, or genetic plague, or biological weapon that has gotten loosed on the world and starts a zombie apocalypse. And with the Walking Dead and all of the current flood of movies and stuff, today's idea of zombies seems to be tied to zombie apocalypse, and that's all people seem to think about nowadays when they're talking zombies. It's zombie apocalypse, and I'm kind of burnt out on zombie apocalypse. There's your voodoo zombie is just this shambling corpse that has no will of its own except for the will of the person who created it and animated it. And if you look in European and Asian folklore over the centuries, although the word zombie comes from the Haitian voodoo roots, there are essentially zombies throughout the centuries, these animated corpses that trouble the living for whatever reason. They go under names of like revenants and other things like that. But a lot of those are a whole lot more interesting and would create a lot more fascinating stories and movies and plots than just zombie apocalypse. How are we going to survive it? So I would say my favorite kind of zombie would be something that's not a zombie apocalypse zombie, because I'm bored with the zombie apocalypse, as sacrilegious as that may be to a majority of zombie fans out there. You asked.
I personally, in the pulp, wrote a lot more of the voodoo stuff, the mind control zombie with Cuddles. Mostly because it hadn't been done in a while. I kind of prefer the Romero, Night of the Living Dead, those kinds of slow-moving zombies that are slowly consuming the planet, because it's much more metaphorical about ourselves destroying the planet than once you start moving into the fast-moving zombies. Their humanity is something else. They're ghoulish. They're goblinish. I remember watching the second Resident Evil movie, and there's one where there's a scene where a zombie crawls up a building, and my suspension of disbelief was gone at that moment. I can believe in zombies, but the second they start crawling up walls, I'm like, no, it's done. We're done.
My favorite type of zombie? That's a good question. Zombie... See, I'm going to take you on a little history lesson for a minute. Zombies didn't used to just be brain-eating corpses. The term zombie used to refer to people who were under hypnosis, who were, drugged and, mindless in a way, but they were still living people. There's so many different types of zombies. I like the kind that love changes their hearts like in warm bodies. I know, that was really cheesy. I like zombies that aren't quite so scary. I don't like scary, gory, bloody stuff. Although I have to say, I did see most of, now my mind went blank. Zombies, Twinkies.
Zombieland.
Zombieland, that's it. I saw most of it. Actually, that was pretty good, I have to say. There was some fun stuff in that movie. I missed the beginning. I came in like a third of the way through and watched the rest of it with my fiance and his family, and it was actually kind of fun. So I'll admit, after this whole, this fact that it's a zombie issue, I've seen a few more zombie things, and I'll probably watch a few more. But I'm still not into the blood and guts. Okay. Brains.
Grr. Zombies is one of those subjects that has a very, very long mythos, a very huge history. Originally, they were not the kind of zombies that we consider nowadays. They were more just like, they were almost more like vampires or ghouls or something. But over the years, it speaks to our fears, what we consider a zombie to be. It's sort of this like viral, infectious type of thing, which in the modern world is a very scary thing to us. For ancient people, they were scared of their loved ones coming back and seeking revenge for like wrongdoings. That shows their kind of fears. But it's just a fear thing, and you can toy with it very, very well. I love the kind of zombies that we have nowadays. It's great, and I love that we have the technology and the willpower nowadays to show like just rotting corpses and all this crazy festering stuff and all the things that will make you go, oh, that's on TV? I love it. I don't want to, but I love it.